Many of you think that God is not hearing your prayers. Maybe he's hearing your prayers, but you're not receiving the answers. You're not picking up on what he's putting down because you don't know the different ways in which he communicates to you. I go all into this in my ebook, 7 Keys to the Kingdom, the blueprint on how to build an intimate relationship with God. I go into several different things that's going to help you build your relationship closer to God so that you can hear from him more often and you can pick up on what he's putting down. He's speaking to you, but you're not picking up on what he's putting down because you got so many distractions around you. And even when you are distracted, he will throw things in your path. God speaks to me a lot through spirit animals, which is one of the things that I discuss in my book. Spirit animals are God's creation. They are used as a symbol for God to relay messages. Just like in the Bible, Noah sent the dove out when he wanted to know if it was time to come out the ark, what was going on with the waters, if the waters had receded, for them to come out on the onto dry land. He sent the dove out. The dove came back with the olive branch, and it was a symbol that the water is dwindling. So he speaks to me through a variety of different means, and one of them being spirit animals, and especially because he also speaks to me through angel numbers. I know religious folk like to condemn angel numbers, but baby, I'm not listening to it because I know what the Most High God does for me. He speaks to me consistently. The house I'm in, he notified me that this was my house continuously through my great numbers, 144, the chosen one numbers, because baby, I am the chosen one. And look, 144 right here. It's so funny. But spirit animals is how I first ever started that, like, before I got close to God, before I started really believing in God, I used to just think that I was lucky or stuff was a coincidence, but odd stuff would happen. And my first experience was this toad used to come to my window. It was a time in my life where I was living with my mom, just trying to get myself together after leaving my ex, and moving back with my mom to start rebuilding, start stacking my money up, getting my credit together so that I can move back out on my own. And I was just going through a transformative situation, a transforming time at that time. And I used to go in the bathroom all the time, and a toad used to always, every time I would come into the bathroom, this was at the time where, it was a couple months after I had been living at my mom's house, and I was starting to make progress. I was getting my credit together. I was doing my dispute letters and like just literally stacking my money up, working a lot of overtime. And I was talking to myself. At this time, I didn't pray, but I talked to myself all day long. All day long, I talked to myself. So I actually built my relationship with God because of talking out loud. And I didn't know that I was like, that somebody was hearing me. I always felt like there was someone watching me. Like, I always move like, that's why I try to do what's right even when nobody's looking, because baby, I know that there's someone watching me. I've always felt like it was a presence just watching me. And I just felt like I was lucky though, because so many things, negative things that could have happened, tragedies that could have happened, it never happened. It's just like I always just got by. It's just like it just was like something was saving me from those experiences, and I thought I was lucky. So during this time in my life, the first thing that started me on my spiritual journey, because after you leave a narcissist, if you are self-reflective and self-aware and you like to figure out like what happened, like why, what is really wrong? Like, when you notice that something is wrong, but you can't quite figure it out. And that's how it is when you with a narcissist, not a sadistic one, because all narcissists are not like toxic, where it's like a physical violence, but it's a lot of emotional and mental abuse that they do. And when you leave a relationship like that, most times you have a spiritual awakening after tragedy, after something bad happens to you. That's the times that most times we end up wanting to get in a relationship back to God, back with God, or where, we're crying and relying on something to save us because we know that this just can't be it. So during this time, a toad kept coming to my window. Like every time that I would go in the bathroom. I was living in my mom's basement and in her bathroom down there. I would go in the bathroom like to hit my bong, and it just make noise. It's like it gets your attention, and I don't have like a lot of noise going on because I like silence. And at this time I had stopped watching TV. When I went back to my mom's house, I stopped watching shows all the time. Like I would watch them in the beginning, but I just got rid of all the noise. I ain't had no friends. I wasn't dating. When I get out of a relationship, especially if I like really, because I only get into it if I really, really, like you. But I really do a lot of self-reflection. So I don't be having no friends. I don't be having no man. I mean, I have friends, but like I spend a lot of time focusing on me, getting myself together, because I have goals that I want to accomplish in this life. And I like to do a lot of introspection to figure out me, get to know me. So during that time, I wasn't watching a lot of nothing. I just started watching more like business, learning how to do business and stuff like that. And the toad kept coming to my window. The toad kept coming to my window. I'm like, why every time literally I come in here, this noise just plopped to the window? Mind you, outside of the window, it's like nothing down there. It's my mom's deck. When you look out that window, it's just underneath her deck. So you see nothing but dirt under there. So it's like, why is the toad just here? Like, why are you just here? And why you just keep coming to the window? So I Googled, I was like, and me, I'm very curious. So anything that's odd that happens, I'm like, what is up with that? Like, that is weird. I have so many testimonies about spirit animals that I'm getting ready to tell y'all today's story in a second. So this probably be like a 2-part video. So I'm like, why does this thing keep coming to my window? So I Googled it or whatever, and it was talking about going through a transformation and everything that was going on in my life at the time. It always is connecting with what's going on in your life at the time. Maybe it's things that you was just praying about. Even if you don't have like a true prayer life, maybe you was just venting to someone about this thing. Or maybe it was just thoughts that's going on in your head, because God knows our thoughts. He knows our heart. He knows our intentions. So that's why he knows people's motives, if they deceptive or not. So when he's telling you to stay away from folk, do it because it's for your best interest. He's trying to protect you. Listen to your intuition and exercise discernment. So I was like, wow. So after that, I just started having different phenomenons of spirit animals. Then like a couple years later, I didn't start seeing like angel numbers until 2021. And it was just so weird. All of a sudden, these numbers kept swarming me. My birthday numbers kept swarming me. I'm like, because God will do anything to get your attention. God wants you to hear from him. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to be in an intimate relationship with you. And I'm going to be talking about this a lot soon. But about what it's like to have a relationship with God. It's really like having a relationship with your parents, with your partner, your spouse, your kids. It's a real relationship, you know? So he wants to have a relationship with you. And he wants you to be able to pick up on what he's putting down. But it's like if you're like asleep and you're just so full of distractions, or even when you like scrolling on social media, God will still drop something in your path that's specifically for you to know that, hey, someone is listening to me. Because if you're not quite sure that it's God yet, you just like, oh, like you just, because a lot of times people, I was like that too. I'm like, oh, is God really real? It's like I've heard of God before, but I didn't know him. Like, I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't grow up in a church. So it's like, I didn't know the Bible. I at one point believed the Bible wasn't real too. And right after that was during the pandemic. And right after that, God sent me on a whole journey, like to show me my word is real. My Bible, that's the word of God for real. Yes, there has been some alterations because the enemy love to get their hands on good God stuff and try to switch some things up and try to transplant the words. And if you know, you know, because if you read KJV compared to NIV, they do a lot of switching up stuff and taking out. That's a whole nother different thing. But it does not change the fact that that's his word, because I'm living it. A lot of us are living it. And if you start reading the Bible, you will get a lot of great guidance on how to get through some of the very situations that you're going through. Because guess who went through them before you? Your forefathers that's in this book. Especially if you're black, we are the people of the book. But y'all don't know that because y'all pastors and told y'all don't read Old Testament. But we're going to get into that in another video. Right now, we're talking about spirit animals. And I ended up buying this book, because this book is, you can look up the meanings when you see these animals online, of course. But I wanted a hands-on copy, because in these last days, I just know that something's going to happen to the internet soon. Something's going to be happening to the power grids. When Russia come over here and light America up, baby, stuff going to be down for a minute. And I want to have all my hands-on hand copies of things. That movie, Leave the World Behind, that was a warning from the Most High. It was a warning from the Most High. It wasn't in vain. These people they put it in your face. One thing about the enemy is he lets you know what's going to happen, but you are so gullible and don't believe that these things are going to happen. It's like, people the enemy deceives people all the time, but when you awaken spiritually, you realize that everything was in your face the whole time. You're just so narrow-minded and you're not picking up on what's being put down. You're taking it as a joke, and it's not a joke. So the only fool is going to be you when you don't want to take wise counsel and when you don't want to listen to the warnings that are being given to you. But today, I saw cat 3 times. So when you see, because, you know, cats is something that you normally might see. So when I see a cat, that's not an abnormal animal to me. So that won't really get my attention because I've seen cats, you know, all my life just roaming around outside. You know, some people be having houses full of cats. But when it's like an odd occurrence, like, okay, I keep seeing this thing. So for me, I normally experience like weird and like not weird animals, but wild animals or like birds. Like it's, you know, ones that's just outside, not domesticated animals that I normally encounter. Is normally like I see the coyote. Like God, it's so funny. Like the other day, I always have, when I'm having certain thoughts in my head and like, you know, feeling certain ways, and I go walking, I end up seeing a coyote. When I first saw that coyote, I was scared. But now that I understand, like, how he be trying to communicate something to me, and based off that thought that you're having at the time when you see it, or feeling that you've been having, or question that you may have, or the way you've been feeling over the past couple days, and something has been bothering you, and you start to see these animals, that's when you want to be like, okay, what's up with this? Because that animal is coming with a message. It's a deliverer. It's a messenger. God used animals a lot in the Bible to send messages to people, whether it was good or bad messages. He will use whoever he has to use to deliver a message to you. So don't ever count nothing out. Of course, you always want to go to the word first. First and foremost, the word. But God understands that everybody, like humanity, is so disconnected from the world, disconnected from spirituality, that he got to try to speak to you. He needs you to know that he's here. He's watching everything. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the good and the evil. He needs you to know that. All right, y'all. I had to charge my phone and stuff. But I saw this morning, as I was coming back from dropping my daughter off at the bus stop right there, when I was walking past, I saw a cat. And that was looking at me. So I was like, okay, like whatever, it's just a cat. And it was looking right at me. And the thing is, it's going to look at you. It's going to get your attention. Like, it's going to get your attention. So then I'm just in the house. You know, I look out the window a lot. But my blinds is always open. I only close this because it affects the light. But my blinds is always open. And I was just walking in my daughter's room over there. And I was out, like the windows, the blinds are open. And, like the whole curtain is open. And I saw just a gray cat. Just like, I just was talking to myself in her room, just walking, pacing, talking, and I saw a gray cat. Then I come back in here and sit down, and I saw that same gray cat right here. And mind you, yesterday, now that I think about it, yesterday, when I went walking yesterday morning, I saw that same gray cat just laying there staring at me when I was walking yesterday. And I'm just telling you, God speaks to me through animals all the time. A gecko was in my house a couple days ago. Yeah, and I just can literally go on a whole testimony about different types of animals and creatures that he used. The blue jays, the red robins, the everything. A freaking gecko was in my house the other day. Lizards don't live in Texas like that. I ain't never known. I know that stuff be happening down there in Florida and all of that mess. A gecko was in my house, a spotted gecko. And this book, it just be like, I'm so glad that I ordered this book because the messages be right on the money. So today with the cat, it's the same message. So if y'all are having this, y'all don't have to order this book, but this book is pretty accurate and it has so many different animals in there. But and God will use anything to get your attention and just to give you confirmation, because when you're praying, I prayed this morning about a lot of things. And I'm going to read y'all what it says for the cat. So it says, this is a period where self-sufficiency and trust in your own capabilities is necessary. Honor your sensuality by dancing slowly with graceful and easy movements and by enjoying touch and physical intimacy. Listen closely to your intuitive guidance, as it is likely an ancestor who is one of your spirit guides trying to communicate with you. This is a period of magic and mystery for you, so pay close attention to signs and omens that will guide and direct you. Whatever you've released, relationships, material goods, self-defeating habits, will soon be replaced with something or someone entirely more suitable for who you are presently. That one, for sure, that's what I really feel like it was told. It's two things here. Well, actually three. That first one, this period of self-sufficiency, because I'm learning, some new things to market and stuff like that. So, and I've been praying for God for creativity. Give me the creativity I need, to start promoting my stuff. He just had me to create my book. Like, we created this book together because there's a need for people out here who are seeking to grow their relationship closer to God. So God has guided me through what to write in this book, this ebook for people. So he guided me to write that. So now I'm like, well, now I need to know how to market it. Like, marketing is key. It's not about just making products. You got to know how to market. So I've been coming up with stuff. It's like, give me the creativity. So today I was like making a whole bunch of stuff, and I got so many thoughts that I've been writing down about different ideas I can do, like different reels to make and all of that. So, and then it says, dance slowly, whatever. Okay, I'll be doing that anyhow. Listen closely to your intuitive guidance. And that's something too that I'm always doing. I'm always listen to my intuition. My intuition guides me throughout my entire life. And then it says this is a period of magic and mystery for you. And it is because I'm not going to go too much in depth about it, but it really is. It's a time where I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like greatness. I know breakthrough is near for me in several areas. And I don't know. I feel something great about to happen, but yet it'd be like still feeling like, dang, it's so far away. But then it's like, I know it's close. I've been waiting so long, and I just know I just feel. So this just was like confirmation. The cat today was confirmation for these things. And then, self-defeating habits. I'm working on my eating, like keep going backwards to my toxic eating. I have a toxic relationship with food, and I'm breaking it. It's done. It's over with for you. I just said today to God, I just want to hate food, because food is just, I didn't gain all the weight. I lose weight, then gain it all back. I didn't gain dang near 30 pounds, 20 pounds. Like, I didn't gain a lot of weight. Then I lost 10 pounds last week, and it gained it all back because I go right back to doing the same stuff. So, and it says here, whatever you've released, relationships, material goods, and I've released the relationships already. I've released the material goods, and I'm praying for restoration too. I'm in the end of my Job season, so I'm ready for my full restoration of my material goods. Like, yes, I'm grateful for, the house, but there's other things too that I'm waiting for. I lost a lot to go on this journey, this spiritual journey, but God told me to move to Texas and left everything behind, sold everything, been homeless. Like, I went through so much, and I still just know that I have not been restored fully and double fold like Job was for all the things that I lost. So this was just confirmation that, because from what I was praying this morning, it's just a lot. Like, it really has been a journey. All three of these things, the relationships, the material goods, I was praying for all of this morning. Relationships with my daughter's dads, not for me, but for them. I want my daughters to have their dads. It's just the first one we're fine, but even still, that's a whole different thing. But I've been praying for my situation to better, so that I can be able to do what I really want to be able to do for my family. So it says it will soon be replaced with something or someone entirely more suitable for for who you are presently. And I think that's more so talking about my self-defeating habits with this eating thing. I'm going to take up that time, and I just like, that's why I'm literally just, I do a lot of fasting so that I can not be so addicted to the food. But at the same time, once I be done fasting, I go right back into it. Not to the degree, because I still haven't had candy. Like, I have not had much candy. Like, I really have broke that one off. And I haven't even had my Doritos that I normally like. So I'm doing better, but then it's like, I be buying the snacks for the kids, then I get getting into today's stuff. And then once I eat one, it's like, I gotta eat more. Oh, so good, so good. Like, so all in all, y'all, this is just to show y'all, like, spirit animals will speak to you. God is hearing your prayers. And one thing about it, when you get this relationship close with God like this, he speak back to you swiftly, instantly. And he speaks to the coyote. At first, I used to be scared of that coyote. But it's a coyote that be through here. He just spoke to me through a fox one time. One time, me and my daughter was leaving. And this is when I was pregnant with my second baby. And me and my daughter had went out to Chili's. We was out to eat. And, you know, because I was just spending a lot of one-on-one time with her, like going out to our little, because I knew once the baby came, we was going to be in the house for some time. Just because I don't like to be out with my little newborn and stuff. So I was just spending that one time with her because the baby was about to come out. You know how they be, you know, the new babies take up the attention. So when we was leaving the Chili's, the fox came just literally as I'm coming out the door. This fox just walked past me. I was like, what the heck was that? Then a couple days later, or like the next day, I randomly look out the window in my room. I saw that fox again outside. Mind you, this was like 15 minutes from the Chili's that we was at. Like, this when I lived in Pikeville, and that Chili's was up in Owings Mills. So it was like, this is in Maryland, Baltimore. And I'm like, what the heck? And then again, a third time's a charm. The third time is when I was just getting out the car, coming home from picking my daughter from school, or coming back from somewhere. And that day, I saw the fox cross my path again. I was like, what is up with this? So I Googled it, and it was right on the money. Like, it always speak right to what you're going through at that time. So I say all of this to say, y'all, pick up on what God is putting down. Pick up on what he's putting down. He's trying to communicate to you. Pay attention to all the occurrences. Pay attention to repetitive sequences, like things that are odd. Like, that was odd. Pay attention. You know, maybe this shirt is a sign. He will put, like, even with me moving to Dallas, like when he was moving me from Houston to Dallas, because God had moved me all over the place on this spiritual journey, baby, just to be able to get up here and do exactly what I'm doing now. The girl that I would watch, she had a shirt on her. She had a shirt on that day that said Dallas. And mind you, I never seen her wear that shirt again during her videos. And it said Dallas. And this was at a time where I was asking for confirmation. Are we really about to be moving to Dallas? Like, and he would give you constant, confirmations. Even when I was moving to Texas, like, I'm like, am I really moving to Texas? Am I really moving to Houston? Am I really moving to Texas? You will keep seeing things that's saying that word. Like, pay attention to that word. You might see a street sign. I go all into this in my book. So if y'all want to know different ways to speak to you, baby, you need to go get that book. It is definitely going to change your life. It is worth every bit of the $50 that it is, baby. You need to have that in your life. Especially being these last days, you need to get right. You need to understand what's really blocking you. You need to understand what's really going on in this matrix. You need to understand. So while we on the train, right, and my baby, she was just looking up there. It was a crow in the train up there. They didn't get to flying through here, scaring people. I'm thinking I need to go look up the sign. There might be God trying to send a message to me. What's the odds that a crow is on the train that I'm on and I'm always experiencing spirit animals? What's the odds of that? You guys, nothing happens by coincidence. This crow was nothing but divine guidance for me. It was not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. It is divine orchestration. God was just sending this specifically for me as reassurance and confirmation for the promises that he made to me from the beginning of me getting on this spiritual journey. And I had a meltdown these past couple of days, and I got in my feelings, and he sent this crow once again to just reassure me that what you know the breakthrough is near. Just stay down. Like, this was just so timely. And to top it off, the timestamp of this video is 117. Like, come on now. It's like he just keep using 117 to communicate with me. This has been my communication numbers my entire spiritual journey. Oh my gosh. So if y'all seeing this video, I literally just did 3 other videos about how God speaks to me through spirit animals and angel numbers. And 117 is one of the main numbers that he uses to communicate with me. And it's just so funny how, because I've been seeing 117 and 1117 and 111 and 111 like consistently over the past couple of weeks. And I'm like, okay, he led me to one message in the Bible about, that's in reference to those numbers. And I had to do a video about it. It was a message that he needed me to speak out to the chosen ones. So now, and I keep seeing it, I'm like, all right, God, so what is it that I'm not picking up on? And I had a whole meltdown the past 2 days. And then even last night, I didn't pray before I went to sleep. And I always pray before I go to sleep. And I was mad. Because I'm just be in my feelings. Because I be like, dang, like, why do I always got to wait so long? Like, why do I always have to wait forever for stuff for me? And, it's just, I be trying to remain humble, because I know that when you're waiting a while, it's because God is working on you, and he is working on preparing you for the blessing that you're asking for, that he has for you. And he's preparing the blessing for you, because when you're asking for things, and he got great things for you. And, for me, I just be mad because I'm like, y'all just don't know everything that I have endured in the name of the Lord to go on this spiritual journey for the last 2 years of leaving my hometown. Well, leaving Baltimore, really. But, and I just been having emotions these past couple days about just different things about the journey. And God has done a bunch of great things to me on this journey. And that's why I be having to humble myself, because I don't want to be unappreciative. But I also do want what I want. I want it all. I want it all. I want all that's owed to me. And the same way Job got everything back that he wanted, I feel like I want everything back too. I gave up a whole lot. I can really just go all into everything, but everything that I have been praying for, everything that I be praying about, if y'all see the other videos, y'all know, but everything that I have been praying for and everything, and, especially just everything, it's different areas that, I just want things to have some type of normalcy again. Even though I'm blessed, I'm very much so blessed. I'm not gonna act like I'm not. I'm very blessed to be able to be at home with my kids, to be able to be available for my kids, but it's just other things that I want for my children, and I'm waiting on God. But I've seen all the other things that he's done for me. So it's like, Tania, you know. So these past 3 videos, if y'all watching this video, y'all got to watch some other 3 videos that I just did about spirit animals, how God speaks to me through the spirit animals. And then as I was editing my last video, I didn't even purposely do the timestamp. I never purposely set a timestamp. It's just so ironic how my video, when I cut the video up and put the stuff in there, it so happened to end at 117, which is one of the main numbers that he has been communicating to me for weeks. And even when I first started was in the beginning of my spiritual journey, in 2022, when he moved me to Texas, that was a number that he was using to communicate with me. So while I'm in my Bible, and when you see these numbers, you can look up the spiritual meaning of it online, of course, because it still is relevant. 117 will talk a lot about being into your purpose and just spiritual meanings. But you always want to go to find that number in the word. Some people, I've more recently hearing people say about the strong concordance, but when you beginning in this, you're not going to understand strong concordance, and God knows that. And it takes you to elevate in your spiritual gifts to really be able to completely understand what the strong concordance is really trying to say, because it's not giving you a whole breakdown. It's not giving you even like a sentence like this is. It gives you different words, and you got to really have that. You got to really be able to understand what it's saying. So you always go to it in the word. So why I just flipped to Deuteronomy 11, chapter 11, verse 7. And it says, but your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord, which he did. And it's just God just reassuring me, because I've been mad. I was in my feelings. And like I said, I ain't talked to him last night. I did pray this morning, and I have been talking to him today. But last night, and it's so funny because last night, like, God is just so funny. Like, it's when I tell y'all this is a real relationship. That's why I can't be in a relationship with nobody else and gotta be in a relationship with God, because God. It's like being with a man, and that's why I can't deal with this. I can't, but I have to, because it's God. Like, you can't be loyal to humans and not be loyal to God. And even though I have my moments, this is really a real relationship. It's really a real relationship. But he's like, girl, you see all the other stuff that I've done for you. Do you think that I'm like forsaking you? Because sometimes, and I've been seeing like little messages come through, and even with my shirt, it says sunny days ahead. And it's so funny how he tried to use my daughter to read this to me. Cause she was like, mommy, what's your shirt say? She was like, let me read your shirt. And I'm like, oh, just get off of me. Like, I don't want you. Like, I don't care what it says. Like, but he was using her to remind me sunny days are ahead. And then the meaning of the crow in here, if y'all saw the last video, the crow was on a train with us. Y'all gotta watch the other video. And it's just ironic. Like, what's the odds that this is talking about that? And then even when it comes to the point where it was talking about, you're becoming confident and powerful in your spirituality and all of that stuff like that. That is something, if y'all watch my YouTube videos, this is what I've been talking about. I've been praying for God to make me confident enough to like promote my stuff, and just for what the lane that he has me in, because I had been down the past couple days, just because I'm like, you got to be careful what you're hearing from other people, because when you listen to other people, especially these Christians out here who... I'm not a Christian. I'm a believer. I'm a child of the Most High God, baby. And when you listening to too much noise, even if it's from these so-called religious people, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm spiritual meaning I believe in the word still too. And when you listening to too many people, they'll begin to make you feel like you tripping, and you don't know, you're not hearing from God like you are, and maybe you off about your stuff, And one thing about it is God gonna always send that reassurance through the spirit animals, through the word. Last night he led me to the word to just remind me, like, to reassure me that, no, that's what I told you to do. That is the truth about the angel numbers, because I had put this part in my book or whatever. And then I saw a video, like people be trying to condemn angel numbers, but I know how God speaks to me. It's nothing demonic about it. Like, anything is demonic when you worship it and when you begin to delve deep into like numerology. But when God is using that to communicate a message to you and you leave it just at that, that is fine. We're in a new day and age. Because of the rebellion of mankind, like I talk about this in my book, and it's so funny how, I started to question it, but then he led me to read in the book of Jasher to confirm that very thing that I said in my book. And I'm like, how did I even know that? But I guess I did read it one time before, but I haven't read this book in a minute because I've been working on my book. So it's like I've been backed up with reading the text that I'm supposed to. Like, God has me on an assignment to read the entire Bible, because there's a lot he needs me to teach about the truth about who we are as the Black community, because we are the people of the book. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We're their descendants. And it's just so much lies that has been sold out here by the Gentiles to us. And God's using me to bring the truth to the world. Bring truth, spirit of truth for real. So he just want me to remain confident and know that I'm doing what he told me to do. It don't matter who else understands, because other people don't have the assignment that I have. Just like I don't have the assignment that other people have, even though we all might be, working to help out other believers or whatever. But it's just so funny how he just been sending all these reassurances to me over these past couple of days when I was just been in my feelings. Because Satan always trying to get you to go back and to feel like you should quit. And even my baby said, Mama, you can't quit.